you. Thank you. you The second day of the fourth special session of the 22nd Congress will now come to order. May we all take a moment of silent prayer. Reggie Clerk, roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Aritas,
Yes.
Senator Christian, Senator Figuer, Senator Figuer, Senator Quolant, Floor Leader Harper,
Aye.
Senator Conman.
Yes.
Thank you. Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Nath, Senator Pollack,
Yes.
Senator Berman, Senator Romolo, Senator Uruzamal.
I'm here, ma'am.
Thank you. Senator Wali,
Yes.
Speaker Semina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we have 8 members that are present.
So we do have a quorum to transact business. Reading of the journal for leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good morning again to you, all honorable members, staff, and everyone who is observing our session this morning by whatever means. Again, I move to dispense with the reading of the journal.
And
Been moved and seconded, then we dispense with the reading of our journal. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay.
I
Motion carried. We now dispense with the reading of the journal. Next item, Chief Clerk.
The next item is item 5, presidential communications, none at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Continue.
Item number 6, FSM Supreme Court communications, none also. Item 7, member communications, none, Mr. Speaker. Item 8, departmental communications, none, Mr. Speaker. Item number 9, agency or governmental authority communications, none. The next item is state communications for item 10, none also. Item 11, state Supreme Court communications, none, Mr. Speaker. Item 12, municipal or town communications, none. Item number 13, foreign government communications, none, Mr. Speaker. And item number 14, miscellaneous communications, none.
Okay. Now on our order of the day.
point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, state your point, Vice Chairman Pollack.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you and Vice Speaker, Floor Leader, distinguished colleagues, and all of those who are observing our session this morning. Mr. Speaker, during our session yesterday, Floor Leader Harper rose on a point of privilege and expressed his utter dissatisfaction and disappointment over the handling of Resolution 22-20, a resolution requesting the Speaker to establish a special committee to review and investigate lawsuits filed in the FSM Supreme Court vis-a-vis certain alleged wrongdoings and corruptions involving personnel of the FSM Development Bank and personnel of the FSM Supreme Court. Mr. Speaker, per your instruction, your Committee on Resources and Development and Committee on Judiciary and Governmental Operations were jointly assigned to undertake this awesome task. Now, listening to the remark made by Floor Leader yesterday, and in defense of these two committees, I wish to simply state and clarify for the record the following. First, in my capacity as Vice Chairman of the R&D Committee, and since Chairman Ned is still off island, I reached out to Chairman Romulo to discuss the process and timing of which this task may be accomplished. Secondly, the Joint Committee agreed and actually conducted the oversight hearing on February 9th. That's last month. After the hearing, it was agreed that the staff attorney assigned to this task would draft the committee report and circulate for review and comment. Third, and Mr. Speaker, I put emphasis on this one, the draft report was never circulated. At least I never received it as one of the co-chair of this committee, special committee. Being concerned, just last weekend on Saturday, March 9, I sent an email to the lead attorney with copies to LC and R&T attorney following up on this matter. And I was told through email that a letter, not a report, signed by the two chairmen of those two committees was sent to the speaker. And my understanding was this was to be circulated after speaker, review and instruct that that report or letter, whatever it may be, circulated to members. I can understand the concerns and frustration raised by floor leader yesterday. But Mr. Speaker, my point is that clearly and sadly, someone dropped the ball, resulting in harsh and pointed criticism, not only to this joint committee, but to the entire Congress, as expressed by floor leader yesterday. So I respectfully request, Mr. Speaker, that the letter or the report be finalized and forwarded to the speaker for circulation to all members, because I think many of the concerns raised by floor leader are addressed in that particular letter or report. So I rise on a point of privilege at this time to clarify, and in defense to those two committees that were assigned this very difficult task. And I appreciate the opportunity to make this clarification. And thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Palit, for addressing the concerns raised by Floor Leader Harbor yesterday. Just for information, I never received that letter, whatever draft or whatever form it was. I don't know why they said it was sent to the Speaker's office, but as a draft, it should not be sent to the Speaker's office, but should be circulated among members. Only the finalized signed version should be the one submitted to the Speaker. But just for information, I never received that. Maybe my secretary or office received it, but it was never forwarded to me. But we'll look into it. But I hope the two committees will continue their work, find out where that letter or report is currently at, and then proceed with it. So you can formalize a submission to the speaker based on the resolution. Okay.
So I never even, Speaker, I didn't even receive the report.
Okay,
Never.
So, yeah. So maybe we should just you just instruct the staff to rework that report or letter, whatever it is, and make sure that it's circulated among the two committees so you can review it and make sure that it's in final form before it's submitted to the Speaker's office. Okay. Any next item, Chief Clerk?
Speaker,
Oh, okay. What's that? Chairman Rusma?
thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that we go down to item 17, continue on down, then come back to item 16.
Well, where are we, Chief Clerk? Next item, is it standing committee reports? Do we have any?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the next item, item number 15, standing committee reports. As of now, we do not have any.
Okay, next item.
Speaker,
Short recess, subject to the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still on item 16. Do we have any report, Chief Clerk?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. For item number 16, special committee reports, we have one and it's number 22-07 from the committee to wait on the president.
Okay, Vice Speaker Moses.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you, floor members, and everyone listening in on to our session this morning. I move that Congress adopt Special Committee Report number 22-07.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that Congress adopt Special Committee Report number 22-07. Discussion. Vice Speaker Moses.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Right after our sit down after session yesterday, your committee to wait on the president met in the conference room over at the president's office. Present were me, Chairman Figuer, and Vice Chairman Palik. Due to some technical difficulties, floor leader was not able to join in on the meeting. We met with the president, informed him that Congress was in session and that it was ready to transact business. And after we informed the president gave us an agenda that he wanted to discuss with some items and the reasons for the call for the special session. The number one item on the agenda was the nominations. There were two that he specifically mentioned. And one was for the Chief Justice nomination, Dennis Belcourt. He informed us that the resolution for that nomination was going to be forthcoming. I don't know if it was sent yesterday or it's going to be sent today, but he said within a couple of minutes, he was going to sign that communication to the speaker. The next nomination was the nomination for Nakama Sana to be a member of the FSM Trust Fund Board or Trust Fund Committee. Item number 2 is what he deemed time-sensitive proposed legislation, and that was to suggest and maybe after I give my oral report, Chairman Figuer can chime in and assist. However, he was asking if we could tweak the previous law that prohibited in-person meetings of the Constitutional Convention, if we could tweak it so that it allows for what Congress does now, where we by state, or if there are some delegations in Chuk or Yap that reside here in Pohnpei, can also meet in this kind of setting. And I hope that's the gist of what the president was trying to ask Congress, but maybe later Chairman Figuer can assist, or Chairman Palik. Item number 3 was the COVID-19 updates, and that they are thinking probably by next month, they should have a schedule for the next repatriation flights into the 4 FSM states. And he informed us that they are considering reducing the days in quarantine in Guam and in the States. And he was hinting upon quarantine days on Guam to be reduced to 3, and quarantine in the States reduced to 3 also. And that is due to the amount of funding that's left. We have around 200,000+ left to assist in quarantining citizens or essential workers that need to come into the FSM. Also, the decisions regarding the changes in the protocols that are being implemented for the COVID-19 pandemic is highly dependent on vaccination rates within the states. And he was giving examples of some islands in the South Pacific where infection rates are quite high. And then he's hoping that we could get up to the rates similar to what Palau is experiencing, because they apparently have contained the virus pretty well in Palau and with minimum number of deaths or critically affected individuals. And also for the low-income assistance that we appropriated, and some was granted to us from the Asian Development Bank, the amount of 9 million, and I believe we added on 2.5 to that, and we pretty much maxed out that amount of funding. That's why the issue with the slowing down of disbursement of low-income assistance per household is taking quite some time. Fourth item was the president said he is wanting to travel to the Oceans Conference in Palau, and also a high-level meeting with the United States government in Washington, D.C. He informed us that the United States government is willing to stop by in Pohnpei and pick him up, travel to Palau, and then from Palau to DC. He also said that he wants to, after the DC meeting, he wants to stop over in Portland for the opening of the new consulate office there. Number 5 on the agenda are the pending legislations. They are not new to Congress. They have been there for several sessions, and I believe they are in the report itemized. So I would suggest members take a look at the list and see if any pending legislation would pique their interest. Item number 6 are grants and other items that the president is asking us to look over and hopefully adopt by resolution so that we can utilize the funding from these grants. And also, Chairman Figueroa mentioned the ship schedule, and the president informed us that the Navigator, once it's done its run in the outer eastern islands of Pohnpei, it will be going back to Yap to assist there. The other items that were discussed was the Green Climate Fund. They are amenable to looking into opening up offices within the states. And that issue, I believe, was raised by Senator Conman yesterday during our sit down after session. And they said that there are some funding available to do such undertakings within the states, opening up offices to help process whatever reports needed to get the funding moving within the states and in the FSM. So I believe I would conclude with that. And if there are any questions, I'm willing, or other members may also assist in trying to clarify. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move for its adoption or.
Okay. Moved and seconded that Congress adopt the, Special Committee Report 22-07. Any further discussion? I'll give the other members of the committee to elaborate or supplement the report if they have any. Chairman Figueroa.
Thank you, Speaker. I don't have any I think the chairman and vice speaker did a good job.
Okay, thank you. Vice Chairman Malik.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Vice Speaker, for the succinct and comprehensive report. There's just one I wish to add, which is in the report, but I wanted to share that with regard to the East Micronesia cable, the president did indicate that there will be a stakeholders meeting between the U.S. counterparts. I believe he stated JCRP and CHEMCO, and the meeting will be held tomorrow. And one of the purposes of this meeting is to determine if actually the financing of this East Micronesia cable, and if the carryover for FSM fund would be tapped for this purpose. So he stated that he will come back to us with that information. That's one of the issues that was brought up by members. So thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Malik. For Leader Harper, you have anything to add? Although I understand you were unable for technical reasons.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes,
I have to compliment the Vice Speaker for the well-articulated oral report, but I do have one very minor and unimportant question to ask, and that is relating to the COVID, especially for the quarantine period, which is proposed to be reduced down to 3 days. You know, I'm not a medical person, but what I understand right now is that prior to being quarantined, a person has to be tested, and then they go to the quarantine place and they stay more than 5 days. And according to what I learned from other sources, is that the virus incubation period is 5 days. So if someone is tested negative prior to going into the quarantine, and if that person will leave the quarantine place after 3 days, then the virus will not be shown active yet. So that's my question, whether that reduction to 5 or 3 days is a scientific and medical advice, or is it only the president's own suggestion?
Vice Speaker Moses, care to assist our colleague for Leader?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That was the wish of the president. However, he said that they will be meeting and looking at it very closely on the next steps forward, but moving toward us maybe changing the way we handle our incoming people into the FSM. And a number of issues before making that final decision is he's going to get his experts together to discuss. And one of the reasons they are attempting to take a closer look at it is the cost of the quarantine. So that's what I gathered, but other members of the committee can also assist.
Well, the report did say that based on advice, they were looking at 3 days or 5 days. So there is still that discussion. So yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
I don't have the written report. That's why I don't see
Yeah.
that.
Okay, yeah. Any further discussion? You're satisfied with the response from Vice Speaker? Thank you.
Speaker.
Yes, Chairman Muli.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning to all of you this morning. My concern is that what was raised by floor leader here, the length of stay to be shortened. The virus doesn't discriminate. So we had to stay 7 days when I was in quarantine. So everybody should be also stay for 7 days because of the medical report that support incubation and all that concern regarding COVID-19. We shouldn't shorten the stay because of finance or because of the president is traveling somewhere. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Ali. Yes,
Sure.
I'm sure our experts, our health experts will be looking at that. I guess that's what the bottom line for the president is saying, that he will continue to, get the advice of our health experts, and they will be the ones recommending whatever period of quarantine.
Mr. Speaker.
Okay, who's that? Yes, Vice Speaker, can you?
Yeah,
also
Mr.
assist
Speaker,
on that?
just to touch upon what the concern by Willie. The decisions that will be made by the executive branch with regards to the protocols is highly contingent upon the vaccination rates within the states.
Yeah, I guess that's the big deal right now. Everything will revolve around our effort in increasing the number of vaccinated citizens. So all the states, we should all go out and support the effort. And there's this booster. I have a question though. Did the president and his staff address this issue of the new variant? What is it called? PA something? That's the one that's now starting to go around.
Yeah, I apologize for that, Speaker. We didn't inquire, nor were we informed of any such variant.
Okay. Any further discussion? on the
Speaker.
report? Chairman Usman.
Yeah, Speaker, I also share the concerns raised pertaining to the length of quarantine. And I agree, money should not be the reason why it should be shortened to only 3 days. We have done better, and at least for the time being, supported by Almighty, that we have not gotten this pandemic in any of our states. And my hope is that just based on some political or whatever personal reasons, that the days are not shortened so to accommodate the desire of people. It should be based, as mentioned, it should be based on medical and scientific reasons. But I know from experience that some of us tend to, even knowing what the scientific and health people are saying, they wish to override the concern and decision of the FSM task force or the state task force.
You mean so you can travel to Palau?
That's one. How can you close Palau? We have people, sick people who are in Palau who cannot come to their state because we close it off for PMA not to go there. Just because we're traveling on military aircraft, we're going to open it up. Please. And decision of a secretary of a department was overwritten by the Excellency. Rediverted, Now, on the issue about the ship, I don't know when the navigator is going to the east, but I know as we speak, the Voyager is over there. The Voyager that was supposed to come to Yap on February 13 instead was diverted at the direction of the president and approval by him to go east to help the Women International Day over the needs of the people here in Yap and the outer islands, especially for field trip service. So
Are
if
you out of stock? Is your store out of stock? Chicken?
what's that?
Is your store out of stock?
Well, of course, the reason I support my family undertakings is because of the services that it also provides to our people. Nowadays, no more canoes. They ride on boats. And you
Oh.
cannot go out in the open sea, especially my poor people, our poor people in Satawan.
Yeah,
Their fishing grounds are way away from their islands.
I know.
So they need to travel on boats. And that's why they requested all of this through you, Speaker. So when that field trip was diverted, and if the navigator after Chuk is going to go Eastern Islands again, that to me is double jeopardy, triple jeopardy. But the low income, and I'm glad it was brought up by the president. That low income help has been very helpful to some families. But
Lot
the
of
problem with the low income was the way it was rolled out. When I asked Pellicer what the program was trying to do, he says, I was told, oh, the threshold is when your salary is 7,000 or less, you can apply as a head of household to receive. If you're above 7,000, oh, I'm sorry, tipis, no low income. And then recently, about 2 weeks ago, I asked, after I learned that my friend, Rob Solomon, was pushed away or pushed out, and my other friend working in the office, a lady from Ponape, was also let go, who was helping me with the YAP enrollees for low income. The new people are telling me, this is the program. They check your income, and if the number of people in your household, let's say I'm making 10,000 per year, and the number of people in my household, in my house is 10, you divide the 10,000 by 10, 10,000 salary, 10,000, 10 people, that's 1,000 each. You're not qualified. But if I'm only making 5,000 and I have 10 people in my house, each of them will, if we divide it up to 10, the 5 will be just 500. Okay, now you can qualify. So when they rolled out this program, it was really not good public education on it. I know. Only here, I know of families, households. They were smart. Our people are very smart. Okay.
That's
You're working with less than 7,000 per annum salary. I'm working as the head of the household with $10,000. Okay. You put your name as the head, and will be, because like I said, we're also smart. We don't use our dad's name, last name. So lo and behold, some families,
someone comes to move on.
some families are receiving low income, even though there is someone in the house making over $10,000 per annum. And then the president came And they're all, again, they told people here, or the Secretary of Finance, oh, you can reapply, and January 31st is the deadline. So every Dick and Harry in Yap
Reapply, huh?
started applying because they thought, including some nieces of mine. I said, you're crazy. You're not going to get a penny. I'll make sure you don't get anything. But that's the confusion about the low income. I really supported the program. It's a good one.
Well, the
I wish
program,
we can continue it, especially because it's helping some businesses in our communities. So, Speaker, with all due respect to His Excellency, I really hope that not to trust like I recommended to some former presidents. Sometimes don't trust your advisor, your cabinet members. Like me, I was fooled by some telling me everything is okay, Mr. President, oh, okay, okay. Only to find out that not okay. So lesson for those of you who are eyeing for that post in the future, always make sure you trust your advisors. Thank you.
are you advising yourself?
No.
Is that the advice from that,
Okay, thank you, Chairman Roosevelt, for any further discussion.
question?
Okay, if none, if there is no objection, discussion is closed. We will vote on the report. Those in favor of the adoption of Special Committee Report 22-07, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Special Committee Report number 22-07 is adopted by Congress. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next item is assignment of measures and communications. We have a referral sheet number 22-57.
Mr.
Okay,
Speaker.
take note of that, Chairman and members of the committees for planning purposes. Yes, Chairman Figure.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that we go down to the, to item 20.
Without objection, we will now go down to item 20. That's the resolution calendar. Okay, Chairman Figure, you have the floor.
Thank you, Speaker. I move to place resolution calendar, resolution number 22-103 on the resolution calendar for
Second.
action.
Second.
That's been moved and seconded that resolution number 22-103 be placed on the resolution calendar for action. Short recess, without the chair. Congress is back in session. So we have resolution number 22-103. Has it been placed, Chief Clerk? Short recess, subject to call the chair. Congress is back in session. There is that motion to place resolution 22-103. Those in favor say
Motion.
aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. So resolution number 22-103 is now placed on the resolution calendar for action. Chief Clerk, read the title.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under the resolution calendar now is Congressional Resolution number 22-103. CR number 22-103 is a resolution setting the ceiling of the total funds estimated to be available for appropriation from the general fund of the Federated States of Micronesia for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2022.
Okay, Chairman Fakir.
Speaker,
Chairman Fakir. Oh, who's that?
yeah, it's me, Speaker. Thank
Okay.
you, Speaker. I move for the adoption of the Congress Resolution number 22-103.
That's been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 22-103. Discussion. Any discussion?
Speaker,
Chairman Roosevelt.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I take it that there is about $2 million still available after, available.
Where did you get that?
Well, you go 105, 172,505 and minus 102, 633,302. It's about 2 million left.
Yeah, but that's in amended compact sector grant and supplemental education grant. That 2 million, that's that you're looking at. It's not from domestic.
Oh, okay, so I see, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot it's two college. Okay,
Yes, I
Thank
have a
you.
question to the committee to wait on this because as you recall, the president said that they're still working between MRA and our finance on what will be the actual reduction. If we adopt this, that means we have officially recognized the 1 million reduction, which is the proper way. But the president indicated in his short statement to us yesterday that they are still working on what would be the actual amount. Is there any further discussion on that when you met with him?
There was none.
Okay.
Yes,
may I ask a further question on, while you also met with him, did you talk about the attempt that he was trying to do to undo what Congress did on the CONCON?
The what?
On the
Short
CONCON.
recess. Short recess.
Oh,
Well,
any further discussion on resolution 22-103? If none, without objection, discussion is closed. We will now vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 22-103, say aye.
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 Motion carried. Resolution number 22-103 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As of now, we do not have any more resolutions.
Okay, if there's no objection, we will go back to our regular order. Item 18, unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? Chief?
None at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, item 19, bill calendar. Do we have any bill
Short recess again.
or recess? Subject to the audit here. Conference is back in session. We're now on the bill calendar. Chairman Figure,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw and place Congress Bill number 22-150 and Congress Bill 22-151 on the bill calendar for action.
Second.
okay. It's been moved and seconded that bills number 22-150 and 22-151 be withdrawn from committees and placed on the bill calendar for first reading action. Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Motion carried. Those two bills are now placed on the bill calendar. Chairman Rosemont, do you have anything to say before we?
Yeah, I'm not looking, I don't see the floor leader. He may be there, but in case he's not there, I move that the rules that may impede our action on these two bills be suspended.
Yes, well, we'll come back and you do it since the floor leader, I think, is stepped out. But anyway, Chief Clerk, can you link those? We're in recess. Conference back in session. We're On the bill calendar, first bill, Chief Clerk.
The first bill under the bill calendar now is Congressional Bill number 22-150 for first reading. CB number 22-150 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 21-201 as amended by Public Laws numbers 21-219, 21-223, 21-229, 21-241, 22-14, 22-28, 22-31, 22-51, and 22-67 by amending Section 4 thereof for the purpose of changing the use of funds previously appropriated therein to fund priority infrastructure projects and other public projects and social programs for the people of Pohnpei State and for other purposes.
Chairman Figure,
I move to pass for Congress Bill number 22-150 on first reading.
any second?
Second.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 22-150. Discussion. Any discussion?
So recess.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Any further discussion on CP 22-150? Discussion is none. There's no objection. Discussion is closed. Short recess to the call of the chair. Floor leader. Congress is back in session. We're still on the bill calendar. We're ready to vote on 22-150 for first reading. Chief Clerk, call the roll.
Senator Aritos,
Yes.
Senator Christian, Senator Figueroa,
Yes.
Senator Colon,
Yes.
Floor Leader Harper,
Aye.
Senator Conman.
yes,
Thank you. Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Net, Senator Pollack,
Yes.
Senator Berman, Senator Romalo, Senator Uruzamal.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you. Senator Wali,
Yes.
Speaker Simona.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we have 10 affirmative votes.
Okay, CP number 22-150 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next bill under the bill calendar now is Congressional Bill number 22-151 for first reading. CB number 22-151 is a bill or an act to appropriate the sum of 100,000 from the general fund of the Federated States of Micronesia for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2022, for the purpose of funding relief efforts of the World Food Program for the victims of the war in Ukraine and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa.
I move that Congress passes Congress Bill number 22-151 on first reading.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that Congress pass CP number 22-151 on first reading.
Mr.
Discuss-
Speaker,
Yes, Chairman Figueroa, discussion.
thank you, Speaker. I rise in support of this bill to appropriate 100,000 for food relief in Ukraine. It is with great sadness that I am doing this. I am aware that in a normal year, Ukraine and Russia produce 30% of the wheat exported in the world, and that Ukraine is among the biggest contributors to the World Food Program of the UN. But here we are having to help them. I condemn unequivocally the invasion of Ukraine, but what I see foremost, and I watch the news in the suffering, especially of women victims of war, who in a matter of days were dragged from their comfortable existence into a state of need. I wish and pray for that those who caused this war would stop it. I am aware of how small a gesture this bill represents, but it's very little compared to the immense need. Probably comedians on US television will make fun of us, but we cannot ignore this suffering. This is a small, but it represents $1 per man, women, and child in the FSM. It also represents a large portion of our remaining revenues at this time of the year. But times like this, your chairman of Ways and Means is compelled to say, with all due respect to the Navy captain for changing his phrase a bit, quote, damn the accountants, full speed ahead, unquote. Because we are a Christian country, and I am always mindful of this saying from the scriptures, quote, for I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, you took me in. I was naked, you clothed me. Unquote. As surely I say to you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these my brethren, you did it to me. My colleagues, this is one of those times when we decide whether we will end up on God's right hand, right side, or left side. Please vote for the bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman Figure. I'm very impressed that you have been able to quote our Bible. The first time I've heard you do that. So thank you very much. And I guess this is the kind of time, we will start to relate back to the, what the morals of our Bible. And I thank you for that statement of support. Okay, any further discussion? If none-
Speaker,
Oh,
Speaker.
Yes, Vice Chairman Palik.
yes, thank you very much, Speaker. I have one minor amendment to make or change on line 9. On line 9, the word delete war in Ukraine, not war in the Ukraine. And Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this bill also, but I want to, point of information, clarify in the heading, it states World Food Program. And I just wonder if that's the right organization. Is that a UN organization or a World Food Program that's used throughout the bill? And I think we also I asked the question of whether this is restricted only to food assistance or accommodations and other needs. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Short recess. Congress is back in session. Any further discussion on the bill?
Question.
Question has been called for. If there's no objection, discussion is closed. We will now vote by roll call of members on first reading. Chief Clerk.
Senator Aridas.
Yes.
Thank you. Senator Christian. Senator Figuer.
Yes.
Senator Colon.
Yes.
Thank you. Floor Leader Harper.
Oh.
Senator Conman.
yes,
Thank you. Vice Speaker Moses. Senator Net. Senator Palik.
Yes.
Senator Berman. Senator Romulo. Senator Uruzamal.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Senator Wally,
Yes.
Speaker Semina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we have 10 affirmative votes for the said bill.
Okay, for that reason, CP number 22-151 has passed Congress on first reading. I just want all those interested to know that even though the FSM national government is down to its last $200,000 available in its general fund, the Congress, in its wisdom, has decided to use half of that or more than half of that for its contribution to the crisis in the Ukraine. So I just want the world to know that. Okay, thank you very much. Next bill.
We do not have any more bills, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Okay, let's go back. Congress is back in session. We're still on the bill calendar. Chairman Figueroa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw and place Congress Bill number 22-152 on the bill calendar for action.
Second.
That's been moved
Again.
and seconded that CP number 22-152 be placed on the bill calendar. Chairman, Floor Leader Harper, motion to suspend.
Yeah, move to suspend any urban rule that may impede our action on that said bill.
Again,
Has been
Again.
moved and seconded that the relevant rules be suspended. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. The relevant rules are not suspended. So let's vote. Those in favor of the motion to place, say aye.
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 Motion carried. The motion to withdraw and place CP number 22-152 is adopted. So we now have 152 on the bill calendar. Close recess.
Speaker,
Can get Chief Rep? Conference is back in session, so Chief Clerk, read the title.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under the bill calendar now is Congressional Bill number 22-152 for first reading. CB number 22-152 is a bill for an act to further amend the code of the Federated States of Micronesia, annotated, as amended to repeal and reserve Section 208 of Title II thereof, as amended by public laws numbers 18-53, 20-99, and 21-58, to enact a new Section 139 of Title 52 to make technical amendments in order to clarify that the provisions regarding acting capacity apply to all positions in the national government and for other purposes.
Okay, Chairman Figure.
Thank you, Speaker. I move for the passage on first reading, Congress Bill number 22-152.
Second.
Moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 22-152. Discussion. Any discussion? If not, yes, Chairman Roosevelt.
Can someone just briefly summarize the intent of this to a poor, slow learner like me?
Okay, short recess. Conference is back in session. We're still discussing 22-152. Any further discussion? If none, and if there is no objection, discussion is closed. We will vote by roll call of members. Oh, short recess. Where's Chairman Fakir? Are you there? Congress is back in session. Okay, Chief Clerk, roll call.
Senator Aritos,
Yes.
Senator Christian, Senator Figueroa,
Yes.
Senator Quillen,
Yes.
Floor Leader Harper,
Amen.
Senator Conman.
yes,
Thank you. Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Net, Senator Padik,
No, yes.
thank you. Senator Perman, Senator Romulo, Senator Urusamal, Senator Wali,
Yes.
Speaker Simina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 10 members voted for the said bill under first reading.
Okay, CB number 22-152 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
We do not have any more bills, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, short recess. It's good to always have session. If there's no further business under the pin calendar, we put on to item 21, introduction of bills and resolutions. If you have any measure to introduce, please pass them on to Chief Clerk. So next item is miscellaneous business. Do you have any miscellaneous business? Miscellaneous business? If none, there's no objection. Announcement. Let's do announcement. Suppose Chairman Fakir.
Speaker,
Chairman Fakir,
Yeah,
your announcement.
Yeah, Ways and Means will have an oversight with the Department of Finance on the revenue projection tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Pohnpei time.
Oh, I thought that's. yeah,
Short
party.
recess, Speaker.
Okay.
Short recess.
session. We're still in announcement. Continue, Chairman Figure.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. The time for Ways and Means Oversight tomorrow is 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, take note, members, Ways and Means. Time is 1 o'clock tomorrow in the afternoon. Okay, Chairman Ursumal, announcement.
Thank you, Speaker. Your Committee on Education will look at the grant from education and decide what to do with it. Thank you.
Okay, you can look at them while you're in your office. It's good. Okay, Chairman Wale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In about half an hour, your Committee on External Affairs will have oversight with the department regarding the Ukraine crisis and other issues that has been raised regarding the department.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
thank you, Chairman Wale. Chairman Poonen.
No more.
Announcement? Okay, thank you. Okay, Vice Chairman Palik.
Yes,
Announcement.
thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on R&D will hold its public hearing tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And the subject matter is CR number 22-98. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Palik, for the announcement. Take note, members of R&D. Okay, Vice Chairman Aridos, you have any announcement?
Thank you, Speaker. No announcement.
Okay, thank you. All right. Senator Conman, you have any announcement? Or
Thank you,
plan?
Speaker. I don't have any.
Okay. Vice Speaker Moses, you have any announcement?
No, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, Floor Leader, announcement and then your motion.
Thank you, Speaker. No announcement. And I move that we stand in recess until 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Thank you. Second.
Again,
That's been moved and
Chuk
seconded
time.
that Congress stand in recess until tomorrow at 10 in the morning, Chuk time. Those in favor say aye. Opposed,
Aye.
motion carried. Congress now stands in recess until tomorrow at 10 in the morning, Chuk time.